Do you have a question, Kelly?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number one, how dare you?
I'm sure that's how the Red Dead Online community feels with Rockstar right now. McDizzle Gaming coming at you. You may not have recognized me with my hat because I am cosplaying right now. Just kidding, it's just a hat. I hope you're doing well today and thank you so much for stopping by. Hit that like button if you enjoy this and subscribe to keep up to date on the best of Red Dead content. In today's video, we're going to talk about a number of things, including Save Red Dead Online, what could be next, and ultimately why I think Red Dead Online will be just fine. It's been roughly 3 weeks since Save Red Dead Online has started on social media, and it's still going strong. Of course, it doesn't have the same momentum that it did, but it's still happening. People are still talking about it, and that is awesome. So, was it successful? It depends who you ask and how you measure it. If the measurement of success is to get Rockstar to respond and react at this point, it hasn't been successful. If the measurement of success is putting pressure on Rockstar with loads of gaming publications and making it very clear to the world that this beautiful game that we love is something that we will vocally fight for an extended period of time, then yes, it was wildly successful. Don't let the jokers tell you that you failed, because you definitely did not. Maybe it'll be just like Red Dead Online. The longer time you spend in the mission, the higher the payout. Nah, just joking. One potential scenario with the upcoming quarterly investors call on February 7th, we could get some kind of newswire post like they did last year saying, yeah, Happy New Year, here's what's upcoming for GTA, all this cool stuff, and here's what's upcoming for Red Dead. At that time, it was Telegram missions. Ugh. But I think the community at this point would appreciate any sort of communication. Let's take a few moments to talk about how Red Dead got in this state. Why are we at where we are right now? Rockstar Games has like 9 studios with over 2,000 employees, as well as countless of other vendors that work with them as well. The only active games for them right now are Red Dead Online, GTA Online, GTA 5 Enhanced and Expanded, the definitive and defective edition of the GTA trilogy. Let's talk about what else might be potentially going on, because I suspect they are in development hell with a number of different things. First and foremost, GTA 6. To put it in perspective, it took a team of approximately 1,600 people to develop Red Dead Redemption 2. Just imagine the monumental effort that GTA 6 is probably taking and the resources. On top of that, with the delay of the enhanced and expanded edition of GTA 5 until March, the team's probably working on that as well and panicking. Who knows, maybe it will also be delayed more. Overall, they're probably in real trouble. And we know from admissions from former Rockstar employees that they tend to pull people off projects and sometimes they never even bring them back. I've linked a really cool article in the description around the internal workings of Rockstar during the development of Bully 2, and it gives a really good look of how they move people around a lot. The point is, something must have shifted their focus from Red Dead Online sometime at the end of 2019, early 2020. Since December of 2020, our updates have been tiny. It's almost like Blood Money was supposed to be the basis for some sort of outlaw role, but they made it like some stupid Wish version for free. They have the right broad idea. You do some sort of preliminary missions that allows you to do some bigger missions, but they royally screwed it up. And the thing that sucks is I don't think we're going to get some sort of outlaw role. I think this is going to be their entry into outlaw type activities. It would have made so much more sense to have preliminary missions set you up for the opportunities, except those preliminary missions actually have some relevance to the opportunities. You have to do specific types of crimes to get intel to do these bigger opportunities. That would have been cool. The amount of content was not enough for a new role, so that would have really had to have been fleshed out. There was only the 3 opportunities as well as, I don't know, a dozen types of crimes. Only 3 bigger missions is not enough, and not enough to introduce a new currency. I really don't know if it's a reflection of greed, stupidity, or a combination of both. It seems pretty foolish to introduce a new currency into a game where there's not a significant amount of new items to buy. I mean, we haven't had any new weapons since the Naturalist update in the summer of 2020. We haven't had any new horses since the Turkomans in December of 2020. We've had no role content since that really tiny Bounty Hunter expansion, which was fun, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't huge by any means. As you may or may not be aware, and I've linked the articles in the description, check them out, there seems to have been bigger plans for Red Dead Online, from collaborative spaces, talking about high-ranked bounty hunters becoming law enforcement or joining a gang, and we have seen none of this. And that is just scratching the surface for what they have said in interviews, and there's also the things in the game files that we have not seen yet, and maybe we never will. Ultimately, the results of what we're seeing aren't necessarily from Rockstar saying, you know, it's time to die, Red Dead Online, ride off to the sunset and die of tuberculosis. It's more likely a result of really poor project planning, and those guys running around like chickens with their heads cut off. Rockstar doesn't care about you, but they care about money. And I expect that greed to overtake them and for them to find ways to extract money from us with hopefully good content. If Red Dead Online died, if Rockstar came out and said, listen, we're not supporting it anymore, you can play in the little sandbox, whatever you want to do, that would be decreed as one of the biggest gaming failures of all time, I would think. So expect greed to prevail. They'll want to take all that GTA money and that percentage of whatever they can get from Red Dead money. In Take-Two's financial reporting, they have specifically called out risks of being too dependent on the GTA as well as the NBA 2K franchise, calling out the need to diversify. Red Dead Online is a good way to diversify. And I think a big lesson learned from GTA Online is that this is a marathon. It is not a sprint for Rockstar and Take-Two. They know if and when this game gets really good, it's going to be very successful. And they also know that a large portion of players that aren't playing right now will play if there's great content. And for those reasons, I think Red Dead Online will be just fine. It just might take a lot of time. And just because Rockstar haven't responded to save Red Dead Online does not mean it does not make an impact by any means. Keep up the pressure, keep up the great work. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your comments below. This was a longer video than I intended, but I had a whole lot to say. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next live stream or video.